a few minutes early, like always. I'm trying to do this so that way this is the thumbnail, because the bed's a bit of a mess right now. I have just random piles of stuff that I didn't get a chance to. Well, actually, we can move this out of the way. There we go. All right, this is the September 2022 stream, the second. I'm going to call this the second monthly live stream. Technically, I guess it would be the first, but I think I said last month when I did this, I would be doing it monthly. So this is technically the second one. So, yeah. I do have a few cars out ready to switch. These have been out, these Mustangs. I didn't really, I don't know if on Instagram I showed these off or not. I think I did. Luis, hey, what's going on? Yeah, actually, no, I did show these. I think on like my story or something at some point in the past. But yeah, these were up, I think, for the past 2 weeks. What I do is every 2 weeks I'll switch out all like the bigger cars. And the smaller cars in the display case, they're kind of more of a monthly thing just because they take a lot longer and I have to like get a lot more cars to actually switch. But yeah, these I just did. I already did these. I know there was one stream in the past where I took, I think, I don't know if I even did the whole case. I did, I think, most of the case, but I didn't want to spend literally the whole stream doing just the small cars. So I took out, I think, a few the night prior just to speed things up for the actual stream. And I did the rest, I think, on that night. But yeah, there's definitely some repeats in here. I mean, I'm guilty of putting in the same cars several times a year. I mean, like this Aries wagon is just really cool. The red lions always stay in here because they're really special. So of course they're always going to be in there. They may move, they may like move rows, or they may move just positions with like within the same row, but I try to always keep them in there to some capacity. I'm just now thinking, what if I put lights inside here? Like literally like wire. Love the welly Tycon you made. Oh yeah, thanks. Yeah, that one was kind of a unexpected, I guess, model that I was gonna get, because I feel like the Barago version, despite that one not being as good as the Welly version, I think kind of overshadows the Welly version, even though the Welly version is kind of superior in quality. And I kind of said that, I think, when I made the video of that car. But yeah, I think they're both available in the same colors, which makes no sense to me. But I guess if you're trying to compete, you try to offer similar colors. I don't really know. But here's some big cars that are going to be making the switch, or these are going to be replacing what's currently, I guess, out on the shelves and everything. I guess not too much of a color variety going on here, but I'm glad to finally have matching, I say matching, yellow and black Camaros, old and new. Always kind of wanted to have something like this, which is pretty cool. I actually just built that Lego Camaro, the big black 69 Camaro. I just finished that earlier today, and it's impressive. I know I said I was going to feature Lego cars on the channel. I definitely am, because when I think I made that post a while back, and a lot of you guys were pretty interested. So, yellow Camaro, nice. Yeah, I agree. If I were to get a Camaro in real life, it would either be in yellow or black. For some reason, I just whenever I see a first or second gen Camaro without racing stripes in any color, it just looks odd to me. I feel like because, you know, these Bumblebee Camaros are just so frequently seen in like models and everything in general, that when you don't see one in that exact color, you're like, oh, I didn't know it came in different colors. Anyway, this is the 16 Camaro here. I don't know if on the real 16 Camaro, if it came like factory with the center black stripe going down the yellow version. I think it did. I wasn't too sure though, so I didn't mention anything in the video, which actually is going to be my next video. Luis says, what do you think about the Bone Shaker? Is it based off any real car? I think that's a really cool fantasy casting. I don't have any Bone Shakers up here now, do I? No, I don't. I had the Baja Bone Shaker where the Bubble-Matic is now, because that was a treasure hunt that I found a long while back. But I know it's loosely based off just like an American hot rod. in general. I don't think they really were going for a specific car to base it off of. But I do like how there's different, you know, colors and kind of like varieties of that casting. You have the regular bone shaker, the bone shaker with the roof on it, the Baja bone shaker, the pixel shaker. I mean, there's the possibilities with that are endless. I have several bone shakers. My favorite, I think, is the multi-pack exclusive one from last year, which was like purple. I'm gonna put the fan on because it's pretty humid in here. Which was, I think, purple with orange flames, I want to say. By the way, we do have some Lego cars out. These Speed Champion sets are actually super cool. And I am going to be doing a video on just my Speed Champion sets. I've gotten a bunch recently. This one's actually from a couple of years ago, this Mclaren. But it's cool to have kind of, you know, like these minifigures scaled on supercars. And the most recent ones fit two minifigures in them, which I think is super cool. When I used to get the Lego City, you know, car sets, and, you know, the tractor, the mail truck, all those Lego City sets from like the late 2000s, they would only ever seat one minifigure, even though many of the vehicles that they were based off of actually sat two. Like the orange trash truck set from like, I think 2007 or 8. Obviously, the real trash truck seats at least two people, if not three, but that one was only made to seat one, you know, minifig. But with the Speed Champions cars that they've currently been coming out with, you can actually fit two minifigures in them, which I think is super cool. Whoa, where'd you get that white caddy? This is actually a super light pink Cadillac. This is the 2002 Mary Kay DeVille DTS from Maisto. They made this, I think, for a brief time in 2002. And employees of Mary Kay, I think, got this as, I think, a gift when they sold a certain amount of money worth of Mary Kay cosmetics. I tried to do some research, and for some reason, when you try to do research on kind of harder to find models like this one, you don't really get that much information. Somebody ended up actually commenting on my review of this car from last year that she used to work for Mary Kay, and she, in fact, did get this as a gift. Not this model that I have here, but a different one. Yeah, I know. It's like, yeah. And it's like one of those things you don't really think about, but then you kind of, dig into the history of, castings, and then you find it out. But super heavy model. It is a very pale pink, and it's really hard to capture the pink in like any kind of lighting, especially on like camera. But I can tell you when I'm here looking at this with my own eyes, it's definitely like a light pink. But Meister did make some other versions of this. They had a silver version and a red version. There are two speed, okay, Ben says there are two Speed Champions that came out earlier this summer. They are a classic Dodge Charger and the James Bond DB5. Yeah, I did see those and they're pretty cool. And Louis says, do you like the Matchbox Field Car? Do you think that's based off any particular model and why? The Field Car gives me like kind of Jeep or Land Rover vibes. I don't have any specific ones in my own collection, but I know what you're talking about. I don't think that's based off a specific car, but it's definitely kind of loosely based off, I think, several at once. That's the thing about these unlicensed castings, is that you don't want to make them look too fake, but at the same time, you don't want to pay licensing costs. By you, I mean like, like the model car companies that like make these things. But yeah, going back to what Ben said, yeah, I did see the DB5. And if anyone has the large scale one that Lego made, I think the smaller scale one pretty much pairs perfectly with it, because that one was also a DB5, I believe. That was the original James Bond car. I have a Hot Wheels DB5. And actually, you know what? Oh yeah, I have a Corgi one too. Arnie says, I have a lot of old Lego Speed Champions. Not really spending money right now, but I'll think about picking up a new one. Yeah, I think they're worth a look, because they've definitely improved. Because now they're 8 studs wide, which means that there's more room both for minifigures and for detail. So I think that's cool to check out. But I think it was a Creator Expert set. Yeah, it was. I had the Fiat 500 set. Yeah, I don't have the 500. I have the Volkswagen. I have several. I'm going to definitely make a video. I'm going to do a video on Speed Champions and then a video on all my bigger Lego cars. And maybe a City and Technic one, but I have a lot of sets that I have to like, dig around for and stuff. But here's my Corgi. I think this is actually a DB6. Yeah, DB6, but it has this is actually my dad's, or was my dad's before he gave it to me a few years ago. Yeah, of course the seat won't work because I'm showing you guys. The green Mercedes, yeah, that's the 300 TD, kind of an underrated Hot Wheels casting. I'll have to ask my dad where he got this one from, if it came in like a set or something. But yeah, this is the DB6. It looks like the difference between the DB6 and DB5. Have you reviewed a Mercedes-Benz E350 CDI by Maisto? I haven't, and that one is hard to find now. For some reason, several of Maisto's models that they've discontinued in the past 10 years just become completely scarce, like the moment they're discontinued. And that's definitely one of them, along with the GLK and like the CLS and stuff. I don't know, they were really killing it with like their Mercedes-Benz models in the mid to late 2000s. I mean, the detail on some of those things is just incredible, especially for that CLS that I just mentioned, which I do have. That E-Class, I think, was pretty good. They made a regular version, a police version, and like a taxi version. And all three are pretty cool. I think I prefer the regular version. But they had, I think, some minor issues and stuff. And they were, for some reason, they sold the regular version under the special edition name, but the police and taxi under, what was it? The Premier Edition line. I don't know why they did that. They've done that before with other models of the same car. We'll get these off the shelf and stuff so we can start switching them out. Yeah, we got the 67 GTA Fastback Mustang, the 70 Mustang. This is the Mach 1. I do have the 2020 Shelby in blue and kind of the same matching blue that this is. I do want to maybe take some photos of this kind of side by side with that one. But yeah. And then we have the ever popular 04 SVT Cobra. This was the Sam's Club exclusive model from last year that only seemed to be in certain Sam's Club stores. Like they had these in my location, but then not in other locations. That's kind of happened this year with that random like 79 Ford F-150 pickup that I did see in someone's video, but apparently some people aren't getting that one. And the funny thing, I beat up all my Maisto cars when I was young, Arnie said. I mean, I beat up some of my, I shouldn't say beat up, but, you know, when you race them around and stuff, they'll get flipped over, you know, stuff like that. See, for me, when I was a kid, playing around with these bigger cars was kind of difficult because when you, like, race them on the floor, they turn because they have, like, you know, the working steering and stuff. So whenever I try to, like, race them anywhere, they would turn and, like, you know, smack into a wall or something. So I didn't really play with my bigger cars all that much. I definitely did some, but I used to put like Lego people and stuff in them and all that. I'm sure we all did that. But Hot Wheels were for, you know, racing across the floor and, you know, tossing around and stuff. I shouldn't say tossing around, but I do have many of my childhood cars still. I do want to make a video because the one I did previously got pretty good views on organizing your Hot Wheels cars. I have significantly, I think, improved and changed how I organize my cars. Do you like the self-driving bus? Is it based off an actual bus or not, do you think? Yeah, that's an interesting casting. I think everyone hates it because it was a peg warmer, but I think it's pretty cool. I don't know if that one's based off an actual bus or not. It's really small and kind of scrunched up. It's literally like a cube shaped. This is probably literally how big it is too, but that's an interesting one. And we got the 15 Mustang GT 5.0. This is actually actually all four of these were from Sam's Club from various years. This one I think I got in 2015, same with this one. This one I got last year, and this one I got at the beginning of this month. They don't have anything there currently with cars, but they should be getting, I think, that second mix of cars in soon. Definitely want to try to get the Impala police car and the Bolide, or the Bugatti Bolide. I know I kept saying Devo, or I kept misspeaking and miscommenting on things and saying Devo instead of Bolide. I mean the Bolide. I have the Devo. I think just because, how much do Maisto cars cost nowadays? Pretty much the same as they always have. In terms of the wholesale club ones, I think they're up a couple bucks. Like for Sam's Club, they're up to $17 as opposed to like $15. But in terms of, you know, getting them anywhere else online, they're pretty much the same $30 to $45 price range that they've always been. So they've kind of survived, I guess, inflation a little bit, but not by much, I suppose. Let's look at these Porsches up here. We got the 550A, the 911 Speedster, 911 Targa, and the 911 992 Carrera. So we got Welly, Maisto, Maisto, Maisto. I called this one Sally because it's literally the same year as, you know, Sally Carrera from Cars. Of course, Sally was not based off a Targa. She didn't have a full glass roof. She had the, you know, regular kind of hard top roof. I think she was based off a Carrera 4S because she had, I think her whole taillight was, I see the Bolide for 23 bucks on Amazon, so I was wondering if it's a good buy. If it is on there for that price, and if it is the 118 version, then yeah, I'm going to have to look into that, because if it is that price on there, that's actually pretty impressive. But yeah, I haven't seen too many detailed pictures of that car yet. This one is so tiny, the 550A. This is, I think, the James Dean. Yes, this Carrera did come in red, if you're talking about this one here, the Targa. Did Welly make this one in red? I think they did. I don't know. But the Speedster, yeah. Can't figure out if they made the real-life Speedster in purple or not. I think they did, but it was kind of rare, I think. Most of the ones you'll probably see, if you ever see them, are going to be, I think, blue, white, and black and stuff. I feel like the Targa was kind of overshadowed. This generation, shoot, it's a 124. I think even for a 124, 23 isn't too bad, seeing that it is a brand new release. Is it by Baraga in 124? I think, you know, actually, yeah, that makes sense if they release it in two different scales. They usually do that with models like that. But this one, oh yeah, this one has the branded tires on it. I always forget that. What are they, Dunlops or something? Michelin. Yeah, Maisto brought back branded tires for that Mach 1 that I just showed you all, and then they also have them on that 69 Charger. They don't really do them on their newer cars anymore, but it was cool when they were doing it. Kind of some extra details and stuff. Oh yeah, now we never got these wheels in the US here for this generation of 911 Targa. I wish we did. Over here, they kept the old, like, 1997 styled 5-spoke wheels. I don't think they really look right on, like, the facelifted 996 911s. But yeah, I don't mind the headlights. I know I know that was like a huge controversy, and like I think from 97 until 2001 when Porsche changed the headlights on the Carreras, that they looked too much like the Boxsters or something like that. But yeah. And yeah, this is dark blue. I know it doesn't look like it's dark blue, but it is dark blue. All right, and then we got the Carrera. I do want to get the... Oh, I think, yeah, what did I say? I want to get the Bolide, the Impala Police, and also the 911 GT3 from Maisto, the 2022 version. And what's it called? Shark Blue. And I do wonder if that blue is similar to this Mustang Mach 1 blue, which is called Grabber Blue, both on this version and on the 2022 version of the real car. But yeah, just something to, I guess, keep in mind, or to think about. All right, that's done. I probably should have dusted this first, but I dust the whole room usually later on after I do everything else. But all right, and the Cadillac will go where the Thunderbird show car is currently. Another kind of underappreciated car. Got two different yellows going on here. There's the T-Bird, bright pale yellow. This was the concept from 1999, and this model was actually, I think, given out at an auto show. It came in kind of a nice Thunderbird branded box and everything. I got it for a really good deal, I think, last fall. And it does have the hard top that we saw here. I kind of have it propped up like that. But yeah, for the hard top to put it on, you just take this off. You have two different tonneau covers. This goes on like that. And then we'll try to do this with one hand. Maybe. Oh, I guess it worked. There we go. Yeah, there's the hard top on. But yeah, a really cool kind of retro car. They did not keep the silver center console. I can't find info on that 79 Ford F-150 anywhere. Meister didn't list it or the Impala Police in their 2022 catalog. And then Louis says Greenlight versus Mini GT. Okay, so for that first thing, yeah, they did not list that F-150 in their catalog or anywhere at all. And I really don't know what's going on with that. And the truck apparently is based off of Sam Walton, who was the founder of Walmart, who Sam's Club is actually partnered with, or Walmart and Sam's Club are part of the same, I don't know. But you guys think get what I mean. But it's based off Sam Walton's truck. Ford Muscle Louis 97. Hey, what's up? But yeah, it wasn't in their catalog. I don't know why. And that Impala was actually a retired model that Maisto brought back. They made the 2000 Chevy Impala in 1/18 scale as a police car and a taxi for many years. And they also made the 2004 Impala SS as just a regular, normal looking, model car. And Maisto actually brands this Impala police car as an Impala SS, even though police forces never had an SS available. Do they sell a 124 scale F-150G? Yeah, somebody makes a 124th of that same F-150 that Maisto just released, supposedly. I think it's either Motormax or Jada, like you said. And it is in the same color scheme. And then for Greenlight versus Mini GT, I don't know enough about Mini GT, so I'm going to say Greenlight, but I do have to look into Mini GT. And Arnie says, do you prefer 124 or 118? Both definitely have their, pros and cons. 118, I think, definitely has, because they have, like, more details and everything like that. But 124 scale cars in general have definitely been getting, I think, more detailed recently. And when I kind of went through a buying spree last year of getting a whole bunch of, like, newer releases from, like, Barago and Maisto, they really do, I think, detail them well. And while they do lack in opening features a lot of times, I really think that they do kind of make up for that lack of opening features with the details that you see, both like on the outsides of the cars, like with the paint and everything, and just in general. But yeah, that whole F-150 thing is a mystery. And seeing that this mix has supposedly been available, or this mix of cars has supposedly been available at Sam's Club for almost 2 weeks now, and there's literally nothing on eBay with listings. There is, I think, a video or two on YouTube where people film their Sam's Club selections, and it was in their mixes. So I think that will kind of be like this Mustang here, where only certain locations get that car in their pallets. I don't know how like the shipping and packing of all those cars works for wholesale clubs, but I imagine there's definitely certain models and certain numbers of models too. Like I've noticed in Sam's Club videos that this year, every like shipment of that first mix had 2 purple Chargers and like 3 green like Scions or whatever. Speaking of the Scion, thank you for the over 2,000 views on the Scion review. I was surprised about that, but very happy nonetheless. It is still a pretty, I think, popular car. Not sure. I'm probably not going to get the new Countach. I ended up getting the Scion, I think, instead of the Countach. The Countach does look pretty cool, but the Scion I kind of wanted to get for a while. I was just, putting it off because they didn't really have it in any color that I wanted. I missed that when they had it in green the first time around, like 3 years ago, whenever it first came out. But now they had it in green again, so I jumped on it, and then I got it. So, yeah. All right, this Cadillac's on the floor. I'll put it up here if I want to. Yeah, this is very big and very heavy. This is probably one of the heaviest Maisto models that they've made. We were talking about the F-150 earlier. Maisto made an 06 F-150 in their 1/18 scale Premier Edition line. And that always commands a pretty penny whenever anybody does list that one for sale. I hope they re-release that at some point. But apparently, because the model was so big and heavy, the cost to make it was pretty significant. So that's why they ended up not making it anymore, because it was just too heavy and it was expensive for like the tooling and like the factory. I don't know, but and yeah, the Camaro looks actually pretty good alongside all these classic cars. Oh yeah, I know the Impala was a retire model. I have an SS from back in the day. Yeah, that's a cool one. They only released that one in black, but I've seen pictures of silver ones online. Like, very few, but I don't know if they made that and they just canceled it right away, which Maisto has done. For example, for the Thunderbird here, they very, very briefly made a white version, but it was canceled almost like immediately. So there's not many out there. And then for their 2015 Jeep Wrangler, they very briefly had a bright green version, which was actually a 2016 paint color. And that was canceled. So when that comes up for sale, that commands a pretty penny. And I don't know how, maybe the manufacturers were like, oh, you know what, never mind, we don't want you to make those colors or something like that. Because a lot of these models, when, you know, model manufacturers make them, they are kind of at the mercy of their licensors. Like, for example, Ford, for this Thunderbird model, Mazda was actually originally going to make a smaller version, like a Matchbox size version, but Ford was apparently like, you know what, no, we want our new flagship car to be only in larger, more detailed scales. And then Mazda waited until the Thunderbird was canceled in 2005, and then they ended up making that little, like, relatively undetailed Matchbox size version, which I don't know if they make anymore or not, but at that point it was like, well, they discontinued the cars, so Ford won't care. And then sure enough, Ford was like, all right, sure, whatever. Make a model of our discontinued car. But all right, this will join the lineup of cars to go away. I'm not going to put these away during the stream because I have to go and dig around for all the boxes for these. I know I said I was going to show most of the process, but some of it's very kind of mundane, and it would require two hands. I got to hold. I don't know if a tripod's worth it, maybe at some point, but I like to kind of be moving around and showing things off, I suppose. But yeah, I do like how for the Impala they chose the California Highway Patrol livery. I've noticed for the older police models being pretty expensive these days, the taxi can be pretty pricey too. Yeah, I've noticed that too. The police models, if you were to compare two different companies, one from Greenlight, like the Garber, one from Mini GT, which quality model would you buy? Probably Mini GT, if we're talking about, you know, like sanitation trucks and stuff. But back to the Impala, yeah, there was... Okay, so when Mazda made the Impala for the police version, they had an NYPD, a Tennessee State Police, and a military, like a U.S. like military version. The military police, I think, is the hardest to find, followed by the Tennessee one, and I think NYPD. And the taxi was actually based off like a real, like, life taxi, like right down to like the license plate. I think it was like a Chicago taxi cab or something like that, but I always found that one odd because it has a blue interior. I don't know if the real one had like a blue interior. The NYPD one that Mazda made did that also had a blue interior. I do wonder if the real 9C1s came with those at all, or if they just made them like that for the model. I don't know, but yeah. But yeah, that'll kind of complete like my wish list of difficult to find Mazda models. And I will count that new Sam's Club release as getting the Impala, because that one looks really cool, like with the California Highway Patrol livery, the black interior, the dog dish wheels, just like super cool. It's just odd that they made it into the SS, because the police 9C1 never came with the SS as an option, or the SS trim as an option. All the 9C1 police models were based off like the base trim Impalas, because, you know, with like police vehicles, you have just kind of these stripped down, very kind of basic vehicles, because, you know, these departments would buy them by the bulk. So you want to have kind of a cheap, I shouldn't say cheap, but like a cheaper, you know, trimmed car that you can just produce in like the masses and then buy in like, you know, multiple quantities and stuff. This is making me want that Impala more and more as I'm talking about it. I really hope to get it. I will probably be making a trip back to the store this week sometime. I was there today. They literally had one left from the previous mix, but I think mix 2 should be showing up soon, maybe towards the end of this week or something. But yeah, and the bolide is actually green, which apparently is exclusive to Sam's Club. It's made by Barago, but of course it'll be in a Mazda box. All right, let's look at this mess up here now. All right, here's two more Speed Champion cars I built recently. We got the Supra and the McLaren Alva. Pretty well detailed, I think, for Lego cars. I'll talk more about these in my video, but yeah, like this one, you can seat two people in there. I have his hair in here because he has the helmet on, the driver. And all the minifigures with the Speed Champions cars do come with like like on their shirts, they have like either racing jackets or shirts with like the name of the car printed on, or like the company logo. Like she's got the McLaren logo, he's got the Toyota GR racing logo on his jacket, and her jacket, respectively. But here's the Celine S7 that I had up here on this side by Motormax, one of the only Motormax models I would actually recommend getting. This Hot Wheels also made a 118 version of the S7. It just looks weird, like too big. Had this kind of weird, cheap, orange-looking beige interior, but this is by Motormax, and it is pretty cool, I think. This is an '04 model. Looks like Tony Stark's from Iron Man's. Probably is the same exact one, too. And then here's the McLaren 600 LT Coupe. McLaren's model nomenclature is really confusing. Like, I don't know if you guys have seen, but it's like 600 LT, 650 LT, 750 LT, or 800 LT. I don't even know. I don't even know how many cars they currently make. I just know in the past, like, 10 years since they kind of revived themselves, they've made a whole bunch with similar sounding names and similar looks. Of course, you have the occasional kind of exclusive McLaren, like the Elva, which is not like a number or letter name. That's an actual name, like a word, I suppose. And then you have the Speedtail. There's a third one. There's definitely a third one that's not like, and it's not the P1. But yeah, this is by Solito. The only budget McLaren you can get currently. And that's not really a bad thing, because Solito is pretty good, aside from the fact you can only open up the doors and they don't stay up too well, but pretty cool. It's like purple. Purple suits the model well. And of course, we got the 132nd Scale Civic, which I drive a real-life version of. Oh, here's the extra wheels that the Supra came with. All your Speed Champions cars do come with a separate or an additional set of wheels to put on to the car. And how you do this is you take off the whole wheel with the tire, and then you just kind of pop out the center. I guess they should be called like wheel covers, and then you put the other ones on if you like. Yeah, here's her like wig and stuff, and the wrench that came with that McLaren Elva. Oh, here are my coupe clips. Super excited to have these. I have the chrome coupe clip with my actual car keys, and my coworker and her husband actually found this red one for me, which sort of matches the paint on my real car. But these are super cool. I totally see why they're so, hyped and like sought after and stuff. But they're just such cool cars, I guess. They have no wheels on them. I've seen online some people have actually made their own sets of wheels for these. Like they drilled through the centers of these wheel wells, and they put an axle through, and they put working wheels. So then they became functioning cars. But these are still, I think, available in stores if you can find them. This one came from CVS. I didn't even mean to go into CVS on the day that I found this. And I went to the back. There was like 4 or 5 Hot Wheels left. And it was just hanging up in the back. And I was like, oh, we're getting that. So these will both be appearing in whatever Hot Wheels hunting video I'll be putting up next. I do have to get on that. I want to do one more, maybe look at maybe Giant somewhere and then film that. Then I'll have my 3 hunts, which I kind of do that structure for the Hot Wheels hunting videos. I have 3 different trips per video. I have 2 already filmed where I open up the cars and I go in the stores, but I need 1 more to make the next video. And then the actual next video after the stream will be the Camaro unboxing and review. I've had this for like over a month now and haven't gotten around to finishing that up, but I will now. And then we'll do a Lego Speed Champions video. So the Camaro, Speed Champions, Sam's Club will be in there if I go there and happen to find, that mix too. And then I'll probably do unboxings of whatever cars I get from there at that point. This will all be between September and October and stuff too. And then, of course, we'll have one of these streams next month too. But yeah, just to kind of put that out there. Yeah, we'll put these back. There's actually a black coupe clip coming out, I believe, at some point soon. Probably later on in the year or something like that. But yeah, I will put the 71 back up there. Or not back up there. I'll put it up there. What do you think if Maisto makes a Rivian R1T? I hope someone makes a model. I'm surprised even Hot Wheels didn't do one of the Rivian. I feel like it's just such a new car. And I saw one actually on the road today. It's like one of those things that like you think you're gonna see more, but then you don't, and then when you do, it's like, oh my God, like what is that? That's how it was with with like Teslas, like 10 years ago. Like when they first came out, you just didn't really see them too much because they were so new and like really expensive, at least at that time, and they still are, of course. Way too overpriced, I think. Um, Except for the Model 3s, I think they're fairly reasonable. They're fairly reasonably priced. But yeah, the Rivian would be cool in like a larger scale model. Hot Wheels did make the GMC Hummer EV. I'm surprised they haven't made the Rivian. That would be a good addition to their Green Speed series for sure. But if Maisto makes that, that would be cool. Maisto has to make more pickups in 1/18 scale. Like seriously. um, like 10 years ago, they were only making the F350 and the GMC Canyon, which were both 2004 models at that point. They were still good, but they should. I was hoping they would make like the current Chevy Colorado or the current Ford Ranger, but no, they make those in 1/27 scale, of course, but not in 1/18 scale. I don't know. This looks actually pretty cool in the semi-darkness back here. Really like sketchy weather tonight. It's like cloudy, and then I'm trying to look out there now. It is getting pretty dark anyway, so I'll put this on. Plus, the winter live streams will be kind of in the dark anyway, because it'll be dark after 6 o'clock most nights. But here's the minivans and vans on the windowsill. They'll be making way for some Camaros in like Hot Wheels size eventually. Not tonight. I always switch the windowsill cars out as part of switching out the 1/18 scale cars. So you got the Odyssey, the Pacifica, this Hyperliner, Nissan NV, and then we got the Dodge van, Chevy van, Dodge D150 from Johnny Lightning, and then the Dodge Caravan from Matchbox. Look at this zoom. But yeah, they'll be getting switched out for Camaros potentially tomorrow once we're back. But yeah, all right, we'll close that up more. I guess a better view of the new Porsche display a little bit since I have a light on now. Oh, and we got the Lego Technic trucks up here. Didn't even acknowledge those until now. I got all 4 of these within the past 2 years. These are smaller, only $10 each. This one is now retired. This one just retired. I think these 2 are on the way. That's the thing about Lego models too. Lego and diecast are pretty similar in the sense that once anything from them is discontinued, it immediately becomes hard to find. Like immediately. It's like you go to sleep one night and then you wake up, it's like, oh, now it's like $50 extra to get one. That's just how it is, I guess, with any kind of collectible or toy, But yeah, I'm going to be taking these down, not now, or probably like next week sometime. I'll be putting up, I think, some Speed Champions cars, because these are actually just barely narrow enough to fit on top of the display case. What was that? Oh, I forgot I put the helmet and wrench in there. So yeah, in total, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, like 8 or 9 Speed Champions cars. I do have some Lego Racers too. They were pretty much Speed Champions like pre-2015. Lego Racers were made, I think, until I want to say 12 or 13. Then they got rid of that whole line completely. I don't know why. And then they brought back the line as Speed Champions, and they're awesome now. I know like the stickers some people aren't really a fan of, but I mean, you can't really help but make these stickers for Lego pieces. At least for the McLaren Elva, you have actual pieces for the lights, but that's because they were able to kind of use existing pieces for these fixtures on the car. The Supra has such distinct headlights, you wouldn't be able to. Plan on picking up the Lego James Bond Aston Martin? Maybe. Definitely looks pretty cool, and it would look good alongside. I have the Corvette set, where it's like the 69 Corvette and the 2020 Le Mans Corvette C8R. But yeah, from the pictures, it did seem like a pretty cool car. I'm guessing the minifigure is supposed to be based off like Daniel Craig or something, who's the current James Bond. But yeah, I might actually look into picking that one up. There's also that Lamborghini Countach as well, which is actually pretty cool. Just this pile of random. And these wheels are actually interchangeable across different Speed Champions cars. Like these came with the Supra, but you could put them on the Elva and vice versa. Wish they were silver instead of black. I don't know, but yeah, I'll be doing a more detailed video about the Speed Champions cars. Kind of, I guess, how they hold up to die-cast and everything. And we can, I guess, sort of debate, like, what scale are these? It seems to be that minifigures are technically about 1/32nd scale. And so are these cars. Like, this Civic is actually 1/32nd scale. Next to the Elva, it's a little bit small, but if this were, I think, the 6-stud wide version, it would be kind of the same scale. But yeah, they're just, and Lego doesn't really do scales because it would be kind of hard to make a scale. They used to put scales on their models, but now they really don't. And that's fine because you really can't like make different scales of individual Lego pieces unless you build two pieces together to make something bigger. But yeah, I don't know. Put this back up here. And yeah, I don't have the red one Coupe clip on the keys currently because I don't want it to get scraped up. I know it probably won't get scraped up, but I don't know. This will be kind of lasting longer, I hope. This one will be on there for a while, but I'll probably use this one as like a zipper pull or something where I have it as like a keychain thing on like the end of a zipper where you just pull it. That's a good shot right there. This has the super noisy oh, that really is loud. I always forget how loud this thing is, and then I do it. Yep, there it is revving. Yeah, I know. There's actually a whole series of these contemporary Honda models that I think the brand's literally called Jackie Cam, I think. It's like all one single word. And they have like the Accord, I think maybe the Odyssey and stuff. I got this when I got my real actual car. And I think they make it in other colors too, I'm not really sure, but yeah, just something cool, I suppose. But so yeah, I'm not going to show the rest of this switching out process, but these will all get cleaned up, like dusted off and everything. They'll get put back in their boxes, and then the bed won't be a big mess that you see right now. And then in maybe 2-ish weeks, we'll kind of repeat the same process. But of course, these will all... How's your Honda doing? Plan on any other customizations? It's doing great. Love it. Not anything currently. There's a few things I did, like I got those like speaker trims, the nice kind of valve stem cover or valve stem caps. Yeah, I'm not going to probably be doing anything to it currently. In terms of like actual things it needs that aren't cosmetic, probably be getting a new battery for it come next year. Tires probably the year after, or probably in 2025. It'll literally be turning 3 in October. It was built in October of 19, but yeah, when I get it inspected in the spring, I'll find out if anything really has to get replaced the next year, but it's still a relatively new vehicle with not a whole lot of miles on it, so probably not, but I was thinking like an extra set of floor mats, but I'm not doing that just yet. I'll wait till the current ones in there get kind of worn in like a few years, and then I might replace them then with like those WeatherTech rubbery ones, but I'm going to keep the original, carpeted ones in there. I do have to wash and vacuum it again. I washed and vacuumed it about a month ago, and it's been a month, so that'll be the next thing, I suppose. Yeah, awesome. Yeah, thanks. I do have to get more glass wipes, and there's this company called Armor All. They make these nice like wipes that are just good for, quick cleaning of like your windows and like your interior parts and everything. They have a separate one for like leather seats too, but I need to get a replenished set. My coworker actually gifted me 2 sets of these wipes when I first got the car, and now I'm just now like running out. They do last quite a while, so I think the brand, what she got was like whatever the Target brand was, but Armor All I think is what they were based off of, and Armor All is the one that makes these wipes. So I'm gonna be getting those to, you know, just to keep the car nice and clean on the inside and stuff. And I do want to make another video on how to clean die-cast cars. The one I made back in 2019, I'm really not too happy with, but that was like just when I was starting out and everything. I filmed it vertically, which you just don't do. But at the time, I was like, whatever. Oh no, I'm sorry. I didn't film it vertically. I filmed it, you know, this way, but the lighting was poor, and I didn't really go into a whole lot of detail. And I only showed 1/18 scale cars, so I've since gotten more, you know, cleaning tools, cleaning, you know, just techniques and all that. So I'll definitely be making a new video on that. Probably before the end of the year. There won't be any time soon. Oh, you know, the one I filmed vertically was that Sharpie, customizing cars with Sharpie. Well, I don't even know why I did that, to be honest. I think just because I happened to customize those 2 Jeeps that day. I'm like, oh, I'll make a video. You know, gotta have content. But yeah, I'll definitely be redoing both of those. I'll call it like cleaning die-cast model cars, revisited or something like that. But most of you guys were not, you know, subscribed at that point. So it will be totally new to most of you. So maybe I'll just call it how to clean die-cast cars. I don't want to delete the first 2 videos because they're kind of part of like the channel's, I guess, early history and stuff. But yeah, I have a whole, like literally on my notes app, I have just a list of like, here's different topics you can film or different things you can feature for future videos. Feature for future videos. Tongue twister. Oh, the S7 does have the cool doors as well. And that just slapped shut. There we go. I gotta post more on the Instagram too. I always forget that. I might actually post one with this car. I don't think I've featured this one on there for quite some time. I may do one with like all my cars with cool doors, aka doors that open up, like gull-wing doors or Lamborghini doors or butterfly doors, which now I think we're up to maybe 6 or 7, maybe even 8 cars in the collection that have such a feature. So that's something I guess to do. But yeah, the Camaro will be next, and then Speed Champions. Wow, the zoom's actually clearer now. And then probably, hopefully, when Sam's Club gets their second batch of Maestos, that'll be another video too. But that was so weird how they just had them out on that like really high up shelf. I literally couldn't get to some of the cars that were like towards the back. I had to like reach across, like how I'm reaching right now. I'm literally like leaning totally forward, about to like fall over. But I only wanted this Mach 1, which was literally in the very front, so that was fine. Even if Mix 2 like never shows up to my store, it's whatever. I was excited, like really excited to find that purple Charger and the green Scion and this Mach 1. I'm trying to think. I think I've gotten, this is our 9th year actually of being Sam's Club members, me and my family, so that's pretty cool. Saved a boatload of money over the years from getting models from there as opposed to other, you know, restore or other, I guess, stores, I suppose. But yeah, cool stuff. I don't think I missed any of you guys in the chat. What is this? Chat viewing options, live chat. Okay, looks like I can scroll through. I don't think I missed any of you. Oh, damn, the Mustang is clean, Arnie said quite a little bit ago. Yeah, if you mean the Mach 1, yeah, it's really well detailed, I think, and I was surprised that Maisto released it. I think I mentioned about them having their 124th 1970 Mustang is not a Mach 1. It's a Boss 302, which was pretty similar in, I guess, just basic look, but I think they differed with like their engines and other, just options and stuff like that. But yeah, this I think is well worth getting. You have, the nice badging. I do kind of detail all that in my review that I made for it, but just really cool. And I will do the separate video of all the bigger Lego cars. That'll be probably either later this month or probably early next month or something. But yeah, a lot of stuff to I guess do or to film, which is good. What would you say is your ultimate dream car? Joseph says, the one you would buy first if you won the lottery. That's always, that's always a tough question. And I think it's even harder for those of us who collect these model cars because we pretty much, I think, buy what we would own in real life. Like everything you see here, I would get probably in real life if I were to have, the option. I would probably get all these in the exact colors that you see too. Well, this one, of course, is the concept T-Bird. I would not, of course, get that. But like the S7, if it were to be like, oh, which version which version of that would you get? I wouldn't get the orange version. The Corvette in general has always been my favorite car, but then of course you have the different generations and all that stuff too. If we're talking like brand new cars, probably a C8 Corvette, like an upper trim, maybe like a Roadster, because they're very customizable now, like down to the seatbelt color. I really like that. You're able to get this kind of supercar experience and a mid-engine layout for under $75,000. Like they were developing that model or that style, that body style for the Vet for years. And then when they finally released it in 2020, it really was awesome. And it still is too. We do actually have a C8 in here right now. Here's the blue Hot Wheels one from the Factory Fresh series. I would probably be able to answer like what would be your dream car from like each car brand. Like Chevy would be the Corvette. Ford would probably be like like a recent Mustang Shelby. Lamborghini, either the Scion or the or the Oricon, one of the earlier Oricons. Bugatti, probably either the Chiron or the Veyron. Just stuff like that. For Porsche and Mercedes, I wouldn't be able to tell you. I love a bunch of cars from those brands. I guess for Audi, I'm not really... Audi would probably just be the R8. I do like Audi, but I'm not like a crazy huge fan of them or anything like that, which is why I only have two 118 scale models of those. But yeah, wow. You guys were commenting on here a lot, which was really good. Yeah, we'll keep doing these kind of monthly. When I reached, I guess, certain subscriber milestones, we're at, I think, 1,180 something right now. When we get to 1,500, I'll probably do a stream just for that. So whatever month that will happen, we'll have 2 streams that month. We'll keep doing these end of the month streams. And then for 2,000, we'll do one for that, just kind of consistent, I guess, dates and times and milestones and whatnot. So this should be available once we kind of, I guess tune out here. But yeah, that was kind of, I guess, the basic gist of how the switching process works for my bigger scale cars. Of course, these all have to be put away in boxes, but I'm not going to have you guys sit through that because it does require 2 hands and going into multiple rooms to retrieve these things. But yeah, I kind of gave, I think, channel updates throughout this. I got to get better at, I think, saying all the relevant stuff at the beginning in case people who are watching later on don't want to watch the whole entire thing through to catch certain bits of info. But yeah, pretty much all I have to say, I guess. I appreciate you guys who were on here asking questions and just commenting in general. It gives me a whole bunch of talking points. I had a bunch of talking points from the beginning, but having, other things to think about and debate on and just answer, I think really helps with this too. So yeah. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for watching.